So let's get started. I'm Jo Ritson from the HPE Victoria Professional Learning team, and this is our HPE staff room. It's actually our second HPE staff room of the year. I guess these were really popular during the COVID times when we were remote learning. It was a great way to connect, to share ideas, and have input from different teachers trialing different things. We heard lots of great new ideas, and it was a really collaborative space. Given everybody's back now on site, which is awesome because you're doing what you're meant to be doing, we're trialing a new time of this session at 4 o'clock once a month, hoping to bring together groups of people to just talk about different things and present whether it's an idea, an activity, something new that's happening in the HPE Victoria space, but we're just here to support you. Today, the session is Maximising Your Storeroom, and we're really fortunate to be joined by Jeff Dodd from RH Sports, who's going to share with us perhaps some of the new pieces of equipment that are out, what you do, Jeff, who you are, everything about RH Sports and how they are the experts in school sports equipment. If you don't use them already, we use them at HPE Victoria and we advocate for everybody else to do so. So what we might do, Jeff, we've got a Padlet on the screen. This Padlet, everybody will be able to share with you after this session. So don't worry, you don't need to take notes or copy down web links. I'll share this out to you and I'll just make some notes as we go. So just sit back, listen, ask some questions in the chat if you need to, or just take your microphone off and give us a question. But Jeff, I'll hand it over to you if you want to get started.
No worries at all. Thank you for having me, Jo, and everyone else there. Hopefully I can come up with a couple of useful ideas that might help maximise your storeroom space and just come up with a few different ideas of how to use your equipment. Bit of an overview, RH Sports has been around for about 45 years, so we're well established through Australia, predominantly down the eastern coast. We have 7 reps on the road supplying or assisting our customers with their hardware needs. 5 of those are in Melbourne and 2 in Sydney. So wherever you're based, I'm sure you'll have a rep on the road that can assist your needs. So feel free to get in touch with us. And we also cover Canberra and Tassie. So I do the calling on the schools in Canberra, and Sean, who's been around for nearly as long as me, is doing the Tasmanian schools. So we do cover a fair reach. This is our catalogue for this year. So if you haven't got that, maybe send a message through the Padlet or however you're communicating to Jo, and we'll ensure to send one out or get one of the reps to drop one off for you. Just to note with the catalogue, if you were sent one, that little white box that you can see on the screen there has your username and password for our website printed. So we certainly, as a business, encourage people online to place your orders. There are some incentives on there. So those that don't know, Nida, which you can see sort of around me everywhere, is our home brand of equipment. So we do sell the big brand names, but our core range is that Nida branding. And online, if you're ordering a bulk of a particular Nida product, which may be 6, 10, 12 or 20, depending on what the item is, you'll receive a 10% discount off that product for the bulk buy. The other incentive is we run a termly specials list, which is here, which for term 1 we send out with the catalogue. Outside of that, you're just relying on the rep to turn up and hand that to you. So if you're ordering online, you will pick up those special prices. If you're not, then you may be paying full price for things that are on special. So, jump online. As I said, if you need a catalogue, send a message through. If you need to know your username and password, which I've just spoken about, then send that through as well. A couple of things in the catalogue I'll touch on. Page 9 runs through our new products. So I won't dwell on that. I will mention those in a second, but if you have a catalogue there, as I'm talking about new products in a moment, page 9 is the place to go. And the other section I'll note is you can see the top of this page has the orange heading. So that's our fundamental motor skills area. So a lot of the product I'll talk about today, you'll find within those dozen pages. So particularly for the primaries there, it is really a catalogue within a catalogue for you guys and runs through all the different areas of learning with product that's appropriate for, skill development, but softer, modified, lighter, smaller, and ideal for primary school use. So that's the catalogue in a nutshell. There's a uniform section in the back of that. So if you are needing your apparel and your playing tops and that type of thing, then there's a section there as well. So keep that in mind. Touched on the website. The other thing you'll note online, which again is in the Padlet there, and I'll run through that at the end, are a range of information sheets. So if you're running a sports day carnival, for example, you can download blank fields for football and write all the kids' names in position. If you're off on a basketball tournament and you know that the kids are going to need to know how to score, you can download basketball score sheets and run the kids through that process. So there's field dimensions, team lists, knockout skeletons and draws and that type of thing on there. And there's also a range of Nida Vision videos. So some of the products I'll show you today, if you do go online and find the Nida Vision videos, they will give you extra uses for some of those products that are or would be in your storeroom. So I'm going to highlight 5 or 6 today, but I think we've got about 50 videos in there that will expand on my introduction today. So please keep that in mind. There's a couple of videos in that Padlet that I'll get Joe to run through at the end. So hold on for that one. In terms of products for this year, as I mentioned, page 9 highlights those things that are a little bit new and different. And we've developed a new sports range. That skill ball, please, Megan. Those that are RHS customers will be well versed with our Nida skill range of balls. So these cut across AFL, soccer, netball, basketball, and all your rugby codes, touch, union and league, plus a few others I've probably forgotten. So they are promoted as our core range PE ball, both in secondaries and primaries, in the appropriate sizes. So it's your day in, day out, PE ball, robust, heavy duty, and good quality. Either side of that, we've just developed a new range. One being the Nida Play range, which is a more economical ball than the skill that I've touched on. So it's either a ball, depending on your budget, that if you didn't want to spend the few extra dollars on that skill ball, then the Play ball will suit your needs for running your PE program as well. Or for those schools that run a lunchtime borrowing type program, and you're sick of your PE shed being rated of your Nida skill balls, you can buy a range of the Play balls for the use of lunchtime borrowing. And again, they look different, they feel different to that skill ball. So there's no need for the kids to be using your PE equipment outside if you undertake purchasing that Play range. And then sitting above, sorry, these are all soccer balls, but obviously the range carries through those I discussed before. So check them out in the catalogue if you're wanting to know the netballs and basketballs and other options. And then at the top end is our Nida Pro. Okay, so much better quality ball, much better laid inside, softer cover, better bladder for better long-term inflation, and a ball that's aimed at your inter-school sport needs. So in the past, we have had balls of this quality, but they've been called some weird and wonderful names. So in refining our range, for all those sports I mentioned, your inter-school sport ball is now called Pro, and there'll be further development of that through some different sports and potentially another option either above or below for different qualities as well. So keep those in mind. The other thing I don't have with me, but popular through COVID was the giant games that we brought in. So Connect 4, Cornhole, Giant Jenga, because they weren't, so they're sort of games you play on your own or with a partner, but you're not sort of banging bodies, I guess. So it was a socially distant range that we offered. So within the catalogue, if you're giant chess and a range of different options in there. So if you're interested in that type of product, check out the catalogue or online to see what's new this year in that range. The other new product is this. which is a fairly archaic sort of system for starting your athletic and swimming events. So unfortunately, those old schoolers that were accustomed to using the starting gun and caps, we're no longer able to supply the caps through, one, a safety issue, and two, a storage issue. So I know a number of schools have gone for an electronic system, which you're spending $600, $700, $800 on, which is potentially out of the budget constraints of some of you guys. So at about $50, it is akin to banging two bits of wood together, but it does make a nice loud bang noise, and it's a good way to start your races quite economically. I think it's just more professional and better looking than blowing a whistle. So keep those in mind. Again, on page 9 or probably in athletics within the catalogue. Moving on to what I'm here for, which is a bit of the fun stuff and finding multiple uses for things that you may already have in your storeroom. And if not, there's certainly a good option for multi-use sort of products. When you posted before, Joe, about your most diverse or the thing that you like using for a variety of different uses, this is mine. So you get a pair of these. These are our Nida hand tramps. So the middle section of that is springy. So in its simplest form, you get one of these, or you get two of these, sorry, which is like a push ball. It's great that you get two, because you get two of these. You can use it as an individual type item. By dropping one of the balls, you actually then get a bit of a partner activity going. So in its most basic use, you bounce it up and down to yourself. You can spin it around, do those type of things. When it's in the air, you can spin around, you can touch the ground, you can jump in the air. So you can do those extra movement activities while you're waiting for the ball to land back in there. You can use it or put your hand through the little cutout there and use it more like a bat. So a badminton type game with this over a net to a partner. Given the shape of it, they will also frisbee. So, in terms of getting more economy out of them, if you bought these, potentially you then don't need to buy frisbees along the way. So yeah, I wouldn't buy them particularly as a frisbee, but if you do have them, frisbee activities are certainly an option for them. In terms of gameplay, I quite like the idea if you had 4 of these. The first 4 children in the line in the circle have one of these, and there might be anywhere from 8 to 12 kids in the circle. My game idea is 1 pops over to 2, 2 pops to 3. While that's happening, number 1 frisbees this across to number 5, and then they wait their turn. And in essence, you end up doing a circle with kids needing to wait for their throw, making sure they're doing a good pop to the person next door, so they can then pop it onto the next person. So to make that more interesting as kids get used to it, reduce the number of these and the number of participants, and it becomes a much faster sort of activity. So they're good fun. With a little addition, this is our Gator Skin ball, or Gator Skin tennis ball. So Gator Skin is that sort of dodgeball that you'd all be used to. So either the Gator Skin volleyball or Gator Skin play ball are the 2 balls that you'd use for dodgeball and throwing at kids. This is the tennis ball version of that, and they just add a dimension to these. Because they bounce, you can do the striking off the wall and back to yourself. And because they are more bouncy, they're more challenging to keep in the net as well. So once kids have perfected that, the Gator Skin tennis ball just allows for little mini tennis games or an extra difficult sort of bouncing out of the net type activity. So if you haven't got them, I'm a big fan of those, and about $25 for what I've shown you there. The ball isn't included, and they're about $7 if you are wanting to order those at some point. The other thing I mentioned, the play ball, please, Megs. This is our Nida Deluxe rubber play ball, which is a bit of a staple amongst primary schools, but it isn't just a play ball, particularly for your junior years. No problem at all using this as a soccer ball or as a netball or as just a general everyday rolling type ball, whether it be for fundamental motor skills of bounce or throw and catch, or once you start getting into the specific sports, as I said, like basketball or soccer and the like, or kickball. So a really rugged, durable ball that you can use for a variety of different purposes, not just as a play ball. So they're good fun. Along the same lines, these are what I call a pink ball, but officially in the catalogue are a mini Fluro volleyball. Similar to the play ball that I just showed you, except these are softer. So they're more for those kids that are potentially a little bit timid or need that slower, higher bounce. So again, one that we term a volleyball because it's a good introductory to that, very soft on the forearms, but can be used and cut across that play ball range. And honestly, with that deluxe ball I've just shown you and this, you're almost covering your play ball needs with those couple of balls, and you're getting the extra benefit of some of the sport balls and things as well. So because they are soft, as I mentioned, that Gator Skin tennis ball or that whole range of Gator Skin stuff is quite expensive. These are about the $8 mark. This equivalent size Gator Skin ball, you're paying early 20s. No reason why you can't use that as a dodge ball or a poison type ball where you're rolling it along the ground instead. So yeah, a nice ball with a few different uses. This is a foam bollard. So it's really soft in the top and it's got a bit of weight in the base, which just gives it a degree of stability if you do happen to knock it. So predominantly used as a marker. So pop it on the ground, simple as that, and it helps mark an area of a field. A few more uses, you could use it as agility type poles. So if you get 6 in a box at about the $80 mark, put it at 6 on the ground, the kids can run in between in an agility type course, lie the odd one on the ground and it becomes a hurdle or an obstacle for them to jump over. If you're doing a small group actual games of soccer or something, no reason why you couldn't put 2 of those down and use them as a small goal. You could pop some sort of bar or rod across the top and you've got a hurdle. Corner flags for soccer, field markings for any particular sport that you're playing. So not just a marker that's standing in the corner. Hopefully, yeah, lots of different uses out of that. So, and the other use I like for them is actually if you hit it hard enough with a ball, it will fall over. So if you had a line of them across the gym, you could play a game where kids are rolling balls at them. You might draw numbers on the bottom. So depending which one you knock over, you score the points value of the one that's on the bottom. So yeah, a variety of different uses for those. I'll mention these. So you get a pack of 4 of these. These are Pebble stepping stones. So they're really designed as an obstacle on the ground, I guess. So you might use them if you are doing an obstacle course. I've seen it done where schools use the lines within their gym or on an outside court as lines that kids must stay on. So you can use these as an option to bridge that line and get off to a different line. So you need to step on these rather than obviously stepping off a line onto these to get over to another line. Good for balance. You can also almost use them like a boso ball where you balance on them and do some activities. Turn them upside down. You can do push-up type activities and things on them as well. So a little bit cutting across fitness and early learning type games. And even used as an obstacle course, as I said, if kids are needing to stay on a line or can't deviate from somewhere, then you can use these to bridge that gap to somewhere else. The other thing I'll mention, I'll stand up for this one, are these. So this is our universal pole. So there's a few options with them, but that's about a 2.5 kilo rubber base, which you can use on obviously grass, asphalt, synthetic grass, whatever you need, which that slides into. In terms of the base, you can also get a spike base or a spring base, which are obviously only suitable for grass use. So these are universal in the sense that you can buy them as a soccer corner flag, which gives you the colourful flag up the top there. You can then kit them out with the 4 house coloured flags. So you get a kit of 4 of these in red, blue, green and gold. You can buy the whiteboard with them. So with a whiteboard marker, you can write station numbers, instructions for kids, lanes for swimming activities, whatever information you want displayed. Or because it's solid, if you've got some laminated sheets, you can buffalo clip whatever activity you're doing to that as well, which is a neat idea. This little clip here attaches to the pole. So you can either use that, which I haven't got, but to run a hoop through, which then becomes a throwing target, or you can attach other poles through that. And again, at different heights, you can create a little goal or a little hurdle with that type of thing. With nothing on it, whether it's spiking or the rubber base, join that together. And you've got an agility pole to run in and out of, or you've got an AFL goal or with some shorter point posts for each end. Or as I say, just any sort of fitness ideas and things with that. So that's called a universal pole with the flag on top, soccer corner flag, and all those accessories are within the fitness section of our catalogue. Cool. The last thing I'll mention, I was in a school gym the other day and it reminded me of a really efficient way of, I guess, yeah, maximising the space in your storeroom, because they've actually dragged their big athletic mats out. They were fortunate enough to have two, but they're actually using them as goals at each end of the gym. So we sell a product called a mat strap, which you attach to the wall either side of the mat, run what is largely a seatbelt webbing across it, and then hitch it back on itself, which props the mat up against the wall. And with one at each end, it's a neat way of, one, storing your athletic mats, but also having that, you know, the soccer goal for games that you're playing inside. So I thought that was a neat way. If you've only got one, you can still do that at one end and do some sort of marking at the other end to signify the goal at the other end of the court. But I thought that was quite a neat way of maximising your storeroom space, along with, you know, within the catalogue, lots of different ideas for storage in there. But yeah, I think that's about me done, Joe. If you're happy to get a few of those Padlet things there.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I've been doing, Jeff, whilst you've been speaking, I've just been popping in all of that information. So I really like the foam bollards. They're great. I'm actually thinking about how I would use them much better than the equipment I've been using in the past. And I love the versatility, so that's great. Popped in there the hand tramps, the starter, the giant games, the play ball range and different pro and skill series that you have, and then the universal pole. I actually didn't realize there was so many attachments and things that you could add to the pole. I had the poles at school, so there we go. I've now learned what I should have been doing with the pole, so thanks for that.
Okay.
Better late than never.
Absolutely. Yep.
Somebody did just ask as well, and I love the hand tramps. I too had the hand tramps and I didn't really know what to do with them. I love the way it can be a racket. I love the way it can be the bounce and the game that you've suggested, or the frisbee. Amazing, really versatile. Somebody did ask, Emma asked in the chat, what's the stringy ball called? Does it have a name?
You get two of these with it.
Right.
In the past, as a separate item, they've been called a cush ball, which is no longer available. But if you did need more of these, we sell a spider ball, SPYDA, which is fairly similar. So if you just wanted a ball that sort of stop and drop like the cush ball is out of the net, if you do happen to drop it, the spider ball is the replacement for the cush ball if you need them. Yeah.
Awesome. I've just popped that in there. That's really good to know. That's great. I think they'd be really cool, Emma, to have for the kids. It's all the eye tracking too, especially in the early years. Jeff, we're coming close to 4:30. It's just after. Do you want me to just have these videos are embedded here, which people will see when they get the Padlet, or would you prefer me to play one of them now?
No, that's fine. That's fine. If we're out of time, then that's cool. No problem at all. But yeah, they're just a couple of examples of that Nida vision that I discussed before. So I've given a fairly brief overview of a handful of products, but there's a whole heap more.
Yeah.
Well, there's two there.
That's great.
Bollards and spot markers, but there, as mentioned, there's heaps on our website. So.
On the website, yeah, and we've got the website link on here, so this will be really great. People can pop in and they can click on the links and it all transfers to those pages. So that would be really cool. And we've had Richard reach out too, who would like a catalogue. So that's really cool. Now, if people want to get in contact, is it Jeff? Are you the person, did you say, to reach out to? Do you want to, shall I pop your email on here?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, so it's Jeff with a J, so JEFF at rhsports.com.au. So I'll fit, any inquiries that come in, I'll certainly assist. I may or may not be the rep. I know I'm Emma's, but the rest of the people there, I'm not sure. But if you email me, I'll certainly get you in the right hands for the rep that's in your area.
Yeah, great. That's fantastic. And then just to wrap up, I will share this Padlet on, just a few other things on there for people to have a browse. The next HPE staff room, we're going to look at assessment, language and tips, and that will be on the 6th of April. And what we've got on here now is actually the link that you can sign up for immediately from the Padlet. So saving you getting an email. So if you want to register straight away and get the link, ready to put in your calendar, you can do that from the Padlet. We've also got our FMS and Game Sense workshop coming up a week on Friday. So if you're keen to come and join FMS and Game Sense, I have already ordered some equipment from RH Sports. I might order a few more things now after seeing today, but we'll be using the equipment at our workshop. So do encourage you to have a little browse and see. It's our first face-to-face practical workshop of the year. We're really excited. So check that link out if you want to come and explore that for some professional learning. Any questions, just pop them on here. We can follow those up. Otherwise, I think, Jeff, you've covered so much there and it's been really helpful for people. And reach out to Jeff if you need any more information.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me, guys.
Great. Thanks, Jeff.
Next Friday.
We'll finish there and we'll see you next Friday. And I'm going to order some equipment. I'm going to get some extras now. So thanks everybody for attending. I'll just end the session now. And Jeff, I'll be in touch with yourself soon.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.